Alright. We are officially live on YouTube and Twitch. So, today we are going to build a cooling system factory and probably some other stuff too. It looks like it should be relatively simple. And aside from that, yeah, so I guess other than that we're going to unlock some milestones. So let's grab some stuff for that. I don't intend to use nuclear power, but I do have to at least unlock it. Alright, and I need to grab concrete and cables, since those will take forever to fill up the MAM. So we'll head over here to the cable storage. And that's enough of those. And we head down here to the concrete storage. And that's enough of those. And heavy modular frames will be trickling in. Need another 100 of those. Already halfway there. Alright, should be not too long before these show up. I really need to upgrade my dimensional storage at some point. Alright, I think that is not enough. We're still 20 short. Yeah, upgraded dimensional storage. I need to go hunting for Mercer spheres at some point. I need to automate those stupid things. Yep, I am carrying coffee. It is decorative hand equipment. Doesn't do anything, but it looks nice. Alright. Nuclear power unlocked.
Milestone reached. The nuclear power plant produces dangerous radioactive nuclear waste. Fix-It reminds you that any extra limbs resulting from exposure to radiation are also contracted to work on project assembly. Fix-It also reminds you that willful exposure to radiation will not result in any bonuses regardless of how many functional limbs it produces. Project part number 7, the magnetic field generator, should enter production as soon as possible. Any unnecessary delays will be noted.
Right, well, it's going to be a bit of a necessary delay, so that's nice. We have other stuff to work on. We need to unlock that, and then use the turbo motors to unlock that. Now I guess let's look. So magnetic field generator is one of the project parts. Thermal propulsion rocket is the second. There are 3 of them, right? Hang on. Magnetic field generator is versatile frameworks and electromagnetic control rods. Alright, easy. Where are the other ones? Assembly directory system is supercomputers and adaptive control units. And we still have to unlock those things. Alright, well, let's move on to the main task for the day. I guess I may as well put leading edge production as my selected milestone. And preemptively grab some steel pipes. But we're going to be leaving and doing something else for a bit. So we are making a cooling system which, let's see here, primarily needs nitrogen gas. also needs a bit of crude oil and a bit of bauxite. But we can fly in the crude oil and bauxite, so we just need to find a nice convenient spot to get nitrogen gas from. We got that one and that one. This one is probably going to be better used for power production. It's right by this whole thing. Let's grab that one. It's also got iron by it, which doesn't matter. No bauxite particularly close. Ooh, water is a concern here. So we might end up using this one. We'll have to head all the way down there and see. Yeah, bauxite in the coffee would probably make it taste pretty gross. No expert, but it seems like not the sort of thing you want. Alright. We're heading out into the wilderness. Up we go. And we can zip line up this. Okay, now I believe my power system doesn't actually head all the way down there. I'm fairly certain that the power that it is down there is like from a random geyser. So I'll have to bring power down there. Just zipline while you can, it's a bit easier. Now, I don't know if... I guess we do kind of need to head southeast, so let's head this way. Along these power poles. Don't face plant into a rock. And actually, I think this is probably the best we're going to do there. Alright. I need to get back on a power line. And now we head this way. Alright, off we go, heading south. And as it turns out, there is a random drone stop here. So I guess we may as well okay, it hadn't landed me properly there for some reason. May as well grab power from this while we keep on going. Yeah, it does look like it goes a bit further on down here. Although I believe this drone stop is probably the southernmost I've got power. So let's just keep on going. Hello. Power pole, thank you. Continue heading off. We're riding a power line as we are building it. And off we go. Alright, this is the next power line. Where exactly? Alright, we need to head east. Pretty much directly east from here. So off we go. Yeah, in fact, we're heading towards that radar tower off in the distance. Alright, that's far enough. So we keep on going. And I guess we'll have to put it there. There's not really good sight lines to put it anywhere further. Alright, can't quite get it on top of that pillar, but get it on the middle level. And we keep on going. Yeah, building these power poles is kind of awkward in this rough terrain. Just gonna have to do our best. Alright, off we go. Almost there. Yep, I can see it in the distance. Alright. So now we just need to figure out the nitrogen is up there. So, just a bit of travel necessary. And that'll be the nitrogen right there. Alright. We have officially made it to the nitrogen. We're going to have to clear this out a little bit. Alright, that's those two guys down. They look like they're the only ones around. So we now officially have a nitrogen gas supply. So let's stick a pressurizer on. Power it up. Yep, and it's gonna have to do its little animation. Thank you. Alright, cool. Animation complete. We need 125 of this stuff. So these two will do. Alright, so we have nitrogen gas. We can ship in crude oil. Or just grab it from here, I guess. But shipping it in seems simple enough. We're going to have to bring this down to the water. And also bring real power down there as well. Fortunately, gas is very simple to pipe, just works. Alright. Almost there. Please let me get onto that little ledge. And that's close enough. Shot at. Alright. That's that dealt with. Now we have to get power down here as well. Come on. Alright, grab that. Bring that down there. Alright. We officially have that. And now we make a proper foundation. Alright, so what do we need to import bauxite and crude oil? So that's 2 drones. And the crude oil will require unpackaging. And an actual power line. Now we're in construction mode, so I switch to this. Give both of them drones. And you can be cooling system, bauxite, supplier. Select destination. Bauxite source. And of course power it on. And give it some fuel. Alright, and then this one is cooling system oil supplier. Give it fuel, tell it to find oil source. And that should be that. Alright, so those two are heading off. Now we have to actually construct a factory. So let's see here. First thing, we need to take the oil and unpackage it. Well, first thing, we need to get all of this out here, I guess. Alright, so I need an unpackager. Maybe 2. Yep, just about 2. So we have splitter. Let's make sure we have Mark III power poles around here. Alright, those two set to package oil. And that one is at 30. This one will be set to 7. Which is a bit more than is technically needed, but you can never have too much. Alright, so then this is going to output some canisters, which I will sink. Alright, canisters will be sunk. Oil itself will be put into a pipe. And need more space already. Alright. So now we take this oil pipe and we stick it in a single refinery. And this refinery is set to make polymer resin. And powered on. And set to... how much polymer resin? Is it 80? Alright, so then we have that. And then this will obviously have 2 outputs. Heavy oil residue comes out of a pipe into another refinery, which makes petroleum coke at 30.8%. And then this also, of course, produces polymer resin, which combines with water to make rubber. And that is going to be 2 refineries. So let's get a refinery manifold in here. I don't know, something like that. Exact position doesn't matter. Alright, that loops around there. And I need a water extractor, which brings water up there. and it's gonna need to be pumped up. And the pump and the extractor both need to be powered on. Alright. And these two refineries are set to residual rubber, residual rubber. That is hooked up. And these also need to be attached to power. Alright. So we have our residual rubber, which is going to be used much later on in the chain. Okay. Fair enough, we will get to that later. Next, we have to take some more of the polymer resin. Right, no, so we take the petroleum coke and we use some of it, sink some of it. So we need to take the bauxite and water to make sloppy alumina. Oh, this is set to packaged oil, not unpackaged oil. And we don't need two of them because unpackaging is faster. Okay. Well, you go away. You set your production to 37. And that'll be happening, I guess. Get rid of that. Alright. Now, bauxite gets a refinery. To sloppy alumina. And it also needs water, which comes from over here. So we take this pipe around town. And in. And of course we need power here. Alright, so that needs to be set to, hang on, production 54. Alright, so there we have that. And that produces alumina solution, which combines with this petroleum coke to make electrode aluminum scrap. Oh. It says connecting to chat. Alright, you must have lost connection to chat briefly. That's fine though. Alright, so we need a refinery for this. And we need space to put it in. Alright, so then this is electrode aluminum scrap. And it gets powered on. And it has the source of petroleum coke. Now I just need to bring the alumina solution. So that is this. Alright. And then this is set to 30%. And the water has to loop back in. Oh boy, I do love having to do this all the time. Alright. Then that attaches there. That needs to be head lift reset, I think. And then we need to have a fluid buffer somewhere. Also, I think I'm technically being shot at, but I also think they have terrible aim. I'm not too worried about it. Alright, organization. Industrial fluid buffer. Alright, so hopefully that'll work. I have not had good luck getting this to set up. Probably I've been doing something wrong. But regardless, we have aluminum scrap production. And I also need to sync the overflow of this, which means tear that apart, put in a smart splitter, center any right overflow and sync. Alright, cool. That should be fine. So this makes the scrap. Now we just need some smelters. And you go in like that. And you get set to pure aluminum. You get to set to pure aluminum. But 50%. And we bring power up here. And this is going to need to be faster. It's going to need to be Mark II. Alright, then these two guys can be taken into a constructor, which is set to make aluminum casings. But only at 50%. Alright, so now we take the casings and some rubber, which is here, and we make heat exchangers. And then we take the heat exchangers and some rubber and the nitrogen, and we make cooling systems, and then we're done. So that can just go into there. This was refreshingly straightforward. I'm very much used to projects taking all day. Alternate heat exchanger. Very cool. Now we just take we just need some room for a blender. So we go heat sink, and you're set to cooling system, and no, not 5 seconds, 5 a minute. Alright, so that's heat sinks. We need rubber, which is conveniently right here. And you split off. And then finally we need water and nitrogen gas. So we can get water just here. Sneak it through all these machines. It's going to need to curve a bit preemptively. And then over. And then down and in, and that's water. And finally the nitrogen gas itself, which is way, way, way back here. Yep. And this will come all the way around. And line up with these pipes here. Okay, so this needs to not be like that, because this needs to use that entryway. So that goes in there. This does basically the same thing it did, but with this one. And there we go. That's cooling systems being made. Now I just need some space for the storage container, the dimensional depot, a smart splitter in there, and let's fit a sink in with left set to overflow. And look at that, we got them coming already. Alright. Well, that... Right, and then we need to hook that up. And that was astonishingly quick. Alright. Now, is everything working? Yes, but not at full speed. So this aluminum casing is not getting enough aluminum ingots. Why not? Because of a lack of scrap. Why is there a lack of scrap? Because of a lack of petroleum coke. Why is there a lack of petroleum coke? Because of a lack of heavy oil residue. Why is there a lack of heavy oil residue? Because of a lack of crude oil. And why is there a lack of crude oil? Because I did not hook that up there. That is why. Okay. Well, that was a stupid mistake. But it should all be fixed now. What is this? Alright, that was from when I had two packagers because I used the wrong recipe. Alright, so with this going, everything should start back up again. And the empty canisters should fully disperse. Alright. Everything seems to be firing back up. So I guess it will take a while for this to all fully sort itself out. I wish there was a way of checking, like, averages over time in the fluid buffers. It seems to go further into the positive than the negative. That could just be because... Could just be because it's still filling to the proper level. So now this is getting its petroleum coke supply, which means that these will be getting their scrap supplies, which means this will be getting its ingot supplies. Yep, everything should be working. Is this correct? Yeah, so I just need to fill... that. Because this is an uneven splitter, so I just need to fill them up so that it works properly. Because yeah, I mean this is outputting 40, so it's getting 20 and 20 instead of 30 and 10, but once this backlogs to this junction, then it'll all be fine. So yeah, I did this all using the base cooling system recipe. The alternate, what's it called? The cooling device recipe is basically like it uses motors instead of rubber and water, and crucially it uses like half the nitrogen gas, but it's also way more complicated because I'd have to fit an entire motor production line in here, so I decided not to do that. We required like iron and coal and all that nonsense. Alright, so this will be picking up to 100%. This will be picking up to 100%, hopefully. Hello! I've just finished a cooling system factory. I'm giving it a once over to make sure everything's working, but it seems like everything is. Thank you for the follow. Is this... No, this is definitely filling up too much. Or not, maybe? It might be stable. That was some pretty serious negatives that I saw there. It goes up to like positive 200, down to like negative 150. See, these really need like show average over the last 5 minutes button, because this is just completely useless to me. Okay, well, it's up to 680 something. It's up to 690 something. I think it is filling. But it's hard to tell how quickly. Looks like it's filling pretty fast and pretty consistently. Which means that I evidently still do not understand how this is supposed to work. well, we can fix this with a valve. So let's see, how much water is supposed to be going into this from the source? 13.5. And 31.5 is supposed to be coming from here. Alright, so let's just add a valve here. And set this to 13.5. Currently the flow rate is very, very small. Why is the flow rate so small? Well, I set it to 13.5 and it's giving 2.4. Is this getting enough water? It should, as long as this fluid buffer is here, I guess. But why is the flow rate there so low? Is it like all being focused down this way? Is it all going into the rubber, I guess? It's hard to say, but hard to say exactly what's going on there. It looks like the fluid buffer is now draining. It was at 700 just a bit ago. So the water is 118.5 water is needed. It's producing 120. None of these pipes are filling as fast as you might expect. When we do have a slight bit of extra. Is the fluid buffer still draining? Yep, looks like it. Alright, this flow rate is up to 4.7, which is faster. But is still not 13.5, which is what it should be. And really, like, there should be no excuse. There's 120 water per minute coming from this. There's 80 going into these two machines. There's another 25 there, so that's 105. Which means there should be 15. There should be 15 water available to go down this way. It's up to 4.7. That fluid buffer is still emptying. Is this aluminum scrap? fast enough. Yes, that's a Mark II belt. But this is not... Alright, because it's not an even split, I guess. So it's going 45-45. So that'll resolve itself pretty soon, I would think. Is this getting better? The flow rate on this side is like 40 some. But at the valve, it's only 4.7. I don't know. It's up to 5, I guess. No, maybe not. It's probably just that. It's probably just that these pipes haven't completely filled, because this is a very small. So let's give it way more net positive to fill these pipes up. And hopefully that should resolve that problem. I think it's just that these pipes are not all properly filled. Yeah, so this is already up to 7. Up to 7.1. Up to 9.3. So we are definitely getting to the point where it should hit. No, it's down to 7.1. It should be hitting the maximum flow rate. All this stuff should be filling up. Now, is it up to 9.4? And there's almost no water in this pipe because it is just being used as quickly as it can show up. This pipe needs to be more fully used. Okay. Well, that looks stable-ish. This is almost exactly correct. So we're just going to give this a bit more. And then I think the next project, I think I'm just going to build a hypertube down here. It's just so far. I'm probably going to have to return at some point. Hold on, this Illumina solution is backlogging. This Illumina solution is majorly backlogging. What's going on here? It's using 54 a minute. And this is producing 54 a minute, so it shouldn't be backlogging. It should be fine. Alright, well I've set the valve limit to 13.5 and it's at 14.2, which is a fascinating example of fluid mechanics. But I'm not going to worry too much about that. So this drone is still depositing bauxite. That one is off to get some more oil. Alright, I'm going to assume that even if this isn't permanently working, it's probably going to work for a while, which means that any problems we encounter will be not obvious. But let's see, we do have a good 100 or so cooling systems. Alright, let's get to work on a hypertube to get back up to the hub. It's gonna be a bit of a trek, I'll tell you that much. Do I have a hypertube hotbar? No, I do not. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get power. Let's get foundation. Alright, well, let's see here. Hypertube entrance. I want to see if this works like this. So if I have 2 hypertube entrances back to back, alright. They need... hang on. I do not understand how this works. What if I take that out and put in a stackable support so that it has a bit of height? Why are you like this, hypertubes? Alright. I do not know how to make hypertube cannons. I will look it up at some point. But until then, I'm just gonna do this the normal boring way. Alright, off we go. Yep. All sorts of horrible creatures and poison. Yep. I'm ignoring you. I'm ignoring you. I'm being shot at, and I'm ignoring it. Alright. This hypertube network is going to be a bit scuffed, of course, because it's super long. And I don't want to spend like 20 hours making it perfect. We might fix any particularly annoying parts. I wonder if clipping like that is fine. Probably better not risk it. We'll take that out. Run this up like that instead. Hello. Please leave me alone. I'm just trying to build a hypertube across the entire map. We can get up here and continue going up. Boy, are we gaining some height here. Alright, continue gaining height. Let's see if we can get up on top of that. Looks like yes, but it's going to be tricky. Alright, give me height. Alright, cool, we got it. And we continue on heading up. Alright. There are spiders after me. Which means I'm gonna try to... Alright. That's a lot of spiders. That is a lot of spiders. Yep, okay. Why are there so many spiders here? Like, that's a silly number of spiders, honestly, is what that is. There's no need for it to be that many spiders here. There's not even anything interesting here for them to protect. Alright, I need to leave. I need to... Alright. See, this is the problem with spiders, is that you just can never lose them. Alright, let's hope that that's far enough. Build that hypertube right past that guy. Oh boy. Yeah, they are angry at me. Yep. That's fine. I'm just going to... Oh, okay, I'm gonna die here, probably. Still being shot at. Oh, and he managed to get right on top of me, huh? Alright. That did not hit me. I got scanned. Alright, the other one has also shown up. He teleported right into my face. What is going on with these guys? I do not want to be dealing with this. I want to simply be making a hypertube. Is this the other one, or is this the first one's corpse? I cannot tell. Okay, so factory inspector. Alright, well, we keep moving. We keep on moving, and don't head directly into a wall. Let's go around the wall instead. Actually, we're gonna have to get up here eventually. It is generally much easier to just plow through obstacles rather than trying to work around them. Speaking of obstacles, another one of these guys. I am low. I need to heal. Yeah, okay, that was a good snipe. Ugh. I should have built a sky bridge. I should have just built a sky bridge. Okay. Why is there more? Why are they just everywhere? Alright. Why? I just want to mind my own business. Bro, he's the greatest sniper in history. What on earth? Why is there another one down there? Alright, what if I just climb up inside this radar tower? What if I just do that instead? Alright. Surely the greatest sniper in history can't get me when I'm all the way up here. Alright, where are these clowns? What? That did not hit me. Uh-oh. Okay, the greatest sniper in history is back. But he missed. Nope, I spoke too soon. Alright. Okay, no, there's another one, of course. Of course there are always more. How did I get hit by a charge there? I was like 20 feet above the ground. Alright, we got the spitter. Now it's just the hogs left. Wow, okay. Greatest sniper in history strikes again. Yep. Okay, well, he's still shooting at me from all the way over there, and still hitting me, by the way. It's actually ridiculous. Like, genuinely, there's no reason for them to be that accurate. Alright, well, I shot that one out of the sky, so that was cool. Yep, alright, hit me again. And I am out of food. Now I have these left. Alright. I got a hit in. Bro, there's actually nothing I can do about this guy. He's in a spot where it's almost impossible to see him. Which means... Alright, I think that killed him. I think I've triumphed over the greatest sniper in history. Now I just need to deal with that guy over there. Okay, yep. I really shouldn't be fighting this. Bro, he clipped through the tube. He clipped through the hypertube. Of course he did. Why am I even surprised at this point? This particular group of hogs has had like all the hacks in the world for no reason. Alright. Finally killed him. Now, all I needed to do was that. Okay. Okay, I need... Alright, so I have that now, which means I can put a wall support on it and snap that into the wall support, which will then let me take this up there. And we're like a third of the way there. Alright, then you can come down onto this foundation real quick. And you can go straight through that poisonous cloud. And down there. Another factory that we happen to be passing by. Let's head on over this way. And up, and continue on over. What factory even is this? Please just leave me alone. One more shot and he should be dead. Yep, there we go. Alright, what factory even is this? Aluminum of some kind? Oh, this is the casings and fuel factory. That's fun. That's fine. Is it working? It looks like it's still working. I see a whole lot of lights which are green most of the time. Alright. Well, we are going to go around this factory. Actually, I think it might make sense to have an entrance here. Just because, you know, if I want to eventually upgrade this factory or look at problems with it, being able to just stop here midway along the route will be easier. And if I don't want that, then I will just hop into this next one. This next hypertube and continue on north. Really, just barely too long. Alright. Now we get to cross a river. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Crossing a river. Alright. Please. I'm just gonna ignore the hogs and keep on going. Alright, go around this rock. And we are missing steel pipes. Well, that is unexpected. I guess that makes sense. My inventory is filled with these for some reason. I definitely don't need them. Alright. Well, steel pipe is gonna take a while. We are quite close, though. We are really quite close. Alright. So do I wait for the steel pipes? I guess I can go Mercer Sphere or Summer Sloop hunting to wait for steel pipes to resupply. Seems like there's one this way. I guess I'll grab a power slug or two while I'm at it. Alright, let's see. Yep. There is a summer sloop this way. And there it is. Alright, thank you for teleporting. Very cool. Alright, he fell off. Alright, summer sloop gained. No Mercer Spheres in sight. There's one this way. Also need to remember to stop and grab food whenever possible, because I sure did use a whole lot of it while fighting the greatest sniper in history. Alright. That was very reckless of me. To keep height. Alright. Alright. And the Mercer Sphere was only defended by that one guy, and it's right here. Easy peasy. How is the pipes going? Where are the pipes in here? Up to 210. It's pretty good. Hopefully that should get me at least most of the rest of the way. Alright. Need to keep on hypertubing. The fact that it took so long for me to run out, even though I did have a couple hundred spare, means that hopefully it's replenishing pretty significantly even while I'm building. And I just need to, like, if something appears to distract me, I need to be distracted by it. And then that should resolve the problem. Alright. We're gonna need a wall there. Stick a wall support on it. Okay, we're running low again, but I hear something. Yeah, I'll grab this power slug. Hopefully not get seen by that hog. I did not. Alright, operation get distracted by a power slug. Complete. Alright. We are almost there. But it does look like the pipe supply is gonna have to need another break. Ooh, did something see me? Yes, but where? I have no idea. Alright, let's just keep on building this path. Yep. Pipe supply is low again. There is a Mercer Sphere in the general vicinity. Looks to be this way. I'll go pick that up. Oh, it's gonna be up here, isn't it? Yep. Up here. No defenses. Just easy yoink. Alright. Nothing more. Grab some food. Alright. A couple hogs dealt with. And we just continue on this path, which I can't see because it goes straight through a tree. Let's blow that up. Alright, so this does seem to actually go a little bit off the path, but that's fine. We're just gonna keep on building. Fun building. Alright, no Mercer Spheres, no Summer Sloops. Sure there's no Mercer Spheres or Summer Sloops? Are you sure about that? Apparently. We're probably quite close to base now. So I guess I would probably pick this area clean by now. Alright. Just a tiny bit more, and the Great Hypertube will be complete. I do actually have a stop like here, which is somewhat central. So I might turn that into like a whole like hub for future hypertubes, but I don't know if I actually will. Alright, there is a power slug, so I'll pick that up. Yep, and the poison flowers are certainly quite mad at me. And down here we go. And this is basically home. Just a bit further in for the sake of convenience. I'd like to stop it like somewhere around there-ish, I think. Just go up that pipe. Alright, just wait. There we go. And we can put an entrance on it. 8, 9, 10. And just like that, hypertube from my base all the way to the blue crater with a stop in between. So now, somewhat awkwardly, I need 1,000 pipes for leading edge production, so I'm going to have to go over this hypertube to pick those up manually because I am completely out in the dimensional storage. So off we go. And this steel pipes should be around here somewhere. Let's see, is that not... That's not the box for them. This, I believe, is the box for them. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll grab another 2 just to have some spares. Looks like the steel pipe production is struggling a little bit to keep up, but that's fine. I don't expect to be building massive cross-map hypertube lanes all that often. Alright. So that's... And this is a much shorter hypertube lane than the other one. And it is still pretty long. I need to look up how to make hypertube cannons, because I think you can use those just strictly to increase your speed moving through a normal hypertube, which would be very cool. Alright. Now we are back. We can unlock leading edge production. So, all that goes in. We need to grab fused modular frames and supercomputers. And leading edge production unlocked.
The Miner Mark III provides top-of-the-line resource extraction potential, making it even easier to contribute to project assembly. Project part number 8, the thermal propulsion rocket, is the most complex project part of this phase as it requires turbo motors, and thus requires your best. Fix-It didn't think pioneers such as you could get this far. I am glad we have both proven them wrong.
Alright, so the Miner Mark III needs turbo motors, as do a variety of other things, including particle enrichment, the last thing on tier 8. So I guess let's take a look at turbo motors. There are a couple alternate recipes which I don't have, and boy is this complicated. Takes all sorts of fun stuff for these. So that'll be enjoyable. Turbo motors require cooling system, RCUs, motors, and rubber. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Can I just look? Power is looking fine. Still have several thousand spare. No need to immediately rush off to make a rocket fuel power plant. Alright. Let's check out Satisfactory tools. What if I want just one turbo motor a minute? Oh, good. That's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. It's not huge quantities. It's a fair amount of iron ore, a fair amount of bauxite. Otherwise, it is drone transportable. But still, that's going to be a bit of a mess, isn't it? Oh, and that's using alternate recipes, which I don't think I have. Alright, well, rather than doing that, let's find literally anything else to do. Yeah, let's find literally anything else to do. So I can think about turbo motors, you know, in the future. So first, I am going to do a quick inspection of my power plant, see if I can fix any more bugs there, because I'm pretty sure there are some. And then I will run over and do an inspection of my fuel drones, my drone fuel supplier, because I am somewhat nervous about that being able to keep up with all that I'm using it for, and it would kind of suck if like all of my like half of my high-tech production lines just all stopped. Alright. So let's take a look here. You are 100%. You are 100%. Alright, so these two lines are good. I see a yellow. I see a couple yellows over there. So let's swap to hovercraft mode. I saw some of these lights flickering yellow in the distance, so we're gonna take a look. Yeah, what is going on over here? 67%, 60%. Everything else is 100%. This row is 85%, 89%. Alright, so these two rows are bad. But it is strictly those two rows. Every other row, I think... Yeah, every other row except for these two I've checked. I guess I haven't checked those two. So we will run over here, check these two. I do see yellow. Alright, so some of them are working, others aren't. That's 100%. That's 95%. These are all 100%. So this row is almost perfect, but just barely short. Whereas these two rows are somewhat significantly short. So let's follow these pipes back here. Alright, so these pipes are taking from this line here, which is 100% on that end, 100% on that end. None of these are significantly short. I don't get it. Oh, this is 97% because of a package fuel deficit. That's also 97% for the same reason. Alright. So we have spotted a problem in this line. It's being fed through this belt, which is not saturated. Somewhat obviously. You're 100%, you're 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. 64% because of a lack of heavy oil residue. Alright. So where do you get your heavy oil residue from? Get it from this pipe here. And how much heavy oil residue is in this pipe? 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, is this supposed to be 210? I feel like I remember one of these was supposed to be underclocked to 200. Let's look at this one. Okay, well this one is having problems for a completely different reason. This one is not getting enough packaged water. So let's track down the packaged water shortage. It's Partially coming from here, partially coming from there. Alright, so this row is not quite getting enough water. So they are being pumped in from this. So you're 100%, you're 100%. This valve is, yeah, needs to be at 60. It is instead slightly below 60. Alright. So what if I just, like, take that valve off and tell that machine to just pump as much as it can? Will that resolve the problem? That also has a valve on it, which I will remove. And now that I remove that valve, these pipes aren't even connected anymore? That's something. Alright, now these two machines aren't getting priority. Okay, let's just resolve this the easier way by saying all of you guys get to be Mark II. And you get to just pump more than is strictly necessary. I built this when I only had Mark I pipes, but now that I have Mark II pipes, I think it might end up resolving a lot of problems if I just make everything Mark II pipes. Especially the bits around the intersections. Alright. Well, that might solve that problem. Yeah, now you're getting more than enough water. You'll never run out again. And you are doing fine. You're doing 96%. Probably because of an output problem. If I had to guess, this looks very backed up. Why are you so backed up? How is this belt backed up? Oh, this is the one that has heavy oil residue shortages. Alright. Let's check that out. So this is 60%. This is 81%. So I'm pretty sure the heavy oil was calculated to be 200. So these pipes should have 200 heavy oil residue in them. Which one is this? It was this one that I was looking at, which is short. Alright. Any of you having problems? You're having a slight crude oil problem. You are also having a slight crude oil problem. Everyone else here seems fine. So it's what, 40, 80, 120, 160, 200. Yeah, so these machines were never set to the right number. I think I just forgot. So let's fly all the way down here. And so this should be 40 a minute. This should be 40 a minute. That one is 40 a minute. This one should be 40 a minute. Alright, so that will probably help some. Now, let's head back. Because there was a packaged water shortage somewhere, right? Yes, this one was having a packaged water shortage. It's hard to tell, but it looks like that might have been resolved. Alright, let's head down to check. Are you all operating at 100%? 100, 100, 100... 89, but clearly just backing up to 100. Same thing here. And I will make these belts faster so that they can deposit their backlog, as opposed to just being stuck at almost full at all times. So that'll probably cause some fun. Ooh, these are all having problems. So let's see here. So yeah, so these appear to have not. These ones appear to not be given priority by. Okay, well. Obviously, this needs to be Mark II for any of that to matter at all. So I think hopefully that will solve the problem a bit. It looks like they are filling with water. And what about this side? Are these sides all doing good? That's 100%. That's 100%. Alright, cool. This is also complicated. You're at 92% because of too much heavy oil residue. 100%, 100%. Yeah, this whole thing looks like it is. They're producing more heavy oil residue than is being used. So that's interesting. Yes. Oh, so these are the ones with the packaged water deficits. Hopefully that should be resolved now. I'm gonna make those Mark II belts just for the fun of it. It'll mean they get more water faster. Although it will probably mean that this is going to have to manifold a bit before fully properly working. Alright, so those should be spinning up to 100% production. Which should be drawing up all the heavy oil residue. And I'll flush that buffer just to make sure. Yeah, I mean, this is the last one, and it is definitely filling up. Alright, cool. Now this one is also having a packaged water problem. Although it looks like it might have been resolved. This whole row is struggling with packaged water. So where are you getting your packaged water from? And are you having any issues? It's the same stupid location. And you look like you're having empty canister problems, maybe, if anything. Alright, you say 65%, but you're actually at 100. It's just catching up. Yeah, I'm going to throw some extra canisters into this just to make sure. I have those in here somewhere, right? Yes. Congratulations. You get a stack of canisters. Alright, yep. That is moving up to full percentage marks. And in theory, that means this whole power plant should be producing even better than before. Somehow it looks much worse, though. Why does this look the way it does? Is it because of that other power plant, which I've basically abandoned at this point? Probably, to some extent. Let's head over there and turn that thing off. Just because I want my power to be stable, just because it'll look better. Alright, so these are actually all 100%. Alright, I do not know how my turbo fuel plant is working at 100%. Probably shouldn't be. And it certainly isn't when I use turbo fuel for the jetpack, but if this is all at 100%, then I have no idea where power is coming from that is so unsteady. Like, those are substantial swings in power production. You'd think it would have to be from here, because this is the only place with enough power production to cause swings that big. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be, right? this is 93% potentially just because it can't output canisters fast enough. Just to make sure that that isn't the problem, I'm going to upgrade all of these belts. Alright, well, if that was the problem, it won't be anymore. And this... is that a floor hole, or is it just clipping through the ground? I think it's just clipping through the ground. Alright, this one is also having a problem where empty canisters are legitimately just backlogged. Why? So what is not using the empty canisters properly? Gosh, this is a bit of a mess. It's this middle one. This feels like one of those games you get on restaurant placemats, like on the back of the menu or something, for little kids. Just follow the line, don't get confused. Alright, these are all producing at 100%. Are there any packagers that aren't producing at 100%? Any at all? This one is 95% because of empty canister shortage. But why? Alright, well, I guess we're gonna have to follow this one up. It's wild that we seem to be having opposite problems in various locations. Alright, so these all ultimately come from this one. So theoretically, one of these wouldn't be running at 100%, right? Alright, this one has a packaged fuel shortage. Alright. I'm just gonna say it's probably... just throw some extra packages in here and assume that that will sort itself out. Where are you? I really should just search. Alright, well, that should be a good solid boost to the number of canisters in the system. These ones are at 98% for no reason. 98%. Alright, so these are all just waiting to officially tick up to 100%. They're not actually underproducing at the moment. Is the same true over here? That's 100%, but it's underclocked. This one is 82% packaged fuel shortage. Alright, time to follow another packaged fuel shortage. It's coming from this line here. It's coming from these. 98%, 70% because of packaged water, 99% because of packaged water. Gosh, getting those last couple percentage points to make everything 100% is very, very difficult, especially with all this stupid packaged stuff that I have to worry about because I didn't have blenders when I made this factory. This would be so much easier if I had had blenders when this factory was made. Alright. How about you just get an extra speed input? As do you. Alright, let's follow this line of packaged water down to see if it is actually short. I mean, it certainly looks short. 100% there. 78% there. It's a water shortage. Alright, so this one is not getting enough water. What if we just upgrade those to Mark II as well? Where is the percentage on that? That's 100%. That's 100%. Here's the additional one. It's coming out of this one. So theoretically, this should still be enough as well. What if I just make that Mark II all the way down? Alright. How about what if I just overclock this guy? So now it's going to produce more water than is needed. And these pipes are big enough to handle it now. Flow rate 302 for a whole bunch of time. Alright. Well, should be enough. Yeah, that's definitely filling from where it was last time. So once this one fills all the way, then that one will get the spare, and theoretically this should all be fine. How are these pipes going? Yeah, it's like 120-ish here. Alright, so this is about to hit 50, which means that backlog can now happen. And this will get all the spare. Well, probably this pipe will have to fill up first. It shouldn't take too long. And then this pipe will get all the spare, and then it will be fixed. Probably. Yeah, it's looking pretty good now. Although, probably not all the way fixed. Not quite. But looks like it is getting there. And is definitely producing more than it was. I do not understand why this one got priority. But that power shard seems to have resolved that problem. Alright, any other problems here? These ones are also a bit short, but probably... I think they were hooked up to the same one that I power sharded. See, this goes down and through there, and then over. And these two, yep, alright. Well, I'll power boost that one just to make sure. It'll be a lot easier if I just overproduce water than try to get all the ratios perfect. Alright, with that being now overproduced, everything should be fine. Yeah, this looks like it's still not 100% for some reason. Which I do not understand. Yes, I mean, the extractors themselves are filling up with water. I do not understand how water works in this game. Please just be fixed. Please. It's using like 300 water and producing like 360 water. Alright, this one is also short. Looks like it's because of canisters, though. Why are you short on canisters? Alright, so its canisters are coming from here, which are coming from here. Which are coming from here. You're 100%, you're 100%. You're 100%. You're 100%, but underclocked. You're 100%. You look like 100%. You are short on packaged fuel by quite a lot. Why are you short on packaged fuel? Trace this back. These machines. 100%. Packaged water again. Yep, so everything is broken because everything is broken. It's a classic. Alright, well, I am, first of all, just going to load in more canisters into these machines down here. Hopefully that is part of the problem so that it can be solved that way. There you go. But it is still down to these water packagers not at 100%. This one is up to 84%. So that's progress. What is it looking like on this pike? 298 a minute? Why is it not 300? Okay, the fact that it is so precise at 297, 298, and never going even a tiny bit above makes me think that somewhere in here like here, there we go. And I don't think that pump was actually necessary. I think that was just on there to help me feel good about it. But now, with that put in, if I check this, flow rate 600. Yeah, so we have solved that problem. And we are now getting more than enough water. Alright. That is fantastic. Now, probably going to have to do a similar thing over here. There is a water shortage. So, through this pipe is flow rate 600. But then it drops as low as 0. What is going on with you? Your flow rate doesn't make any sense. What if I just make these all Mark IIs as well? Alright, if you were really flowing that fast, then this whole thing wouldn't be a problem and all those machines would be full. So you are 100% no backlogs. You are 100% no backlogs. You have a valve. Yeah, that would do it. Be gone, Mr. Valve. So now this can flow properly. and should pretty quickly figure itself out. And when I say pretty quickly, I mean very slowly, because all of this water stuff is just very slow. But it does look to have figured itself out, so that is no longer going to be at 84%. How about this one? 100% there, 100% there. Alright, we seem to have made great strides in pushing this towards 100%. Alright, you have a canister shortage. This whole line appears to have a canister shortage. Although the earlier ones are dealing with it better. Oh, this is just because of the speeds at which they input. But yeah, so there is a canister shortage here. Now we need to follow the canisters, not the pipes. So you are coming from all the way over here. A combination of these two, I guess I'll look at this one. So, you're looking good, you're looking good, you're looking good. You're looking distinctly less good, though. You are fine. You are fine. You are not fine. Packaged fuel shortage there. Packaged fuel shortage there. You're fine. Alright, packaged fuel shortage. So let's run along around this way. Hundred percent, 100%, 100%, 100%, 99%, 92%, 100%. Alright, so this is having packaged water shortages. First, let's make these belts a little bit quicker. And follow through where these guys get their packaged water from exactly. And hopefully wherever it is has been addressed. Alright, looks like mostly through here, but a little bit through a different line. Alright. These are all somewhat precarious. That one's 95%. That one's 95%. So yeah, this looks to be a loop, which means the problem might be in the other packaged water source. Alright, let's follow this belt over and down here, and it's this little mini one. You're 100%, you're 100%. Alright. Well, I think probably made... Yeah, this looks better than it did. Actually looks quite a lot better than it did. It's still not perfect, but we'll have to work that out on a later date. For now, we are going to head down to the fuel drone storage place thing. and check up on that to make sure that it is working fine. Because it is sort of the linchpin of like most of my factories at this point. And I would like for it to continue to function. I'm going to grab this purple power slug real quick. If I can land. Alright. Purple power slug gotten. Alright, and now we head on over. It's going to be a bit of a trek. I might want to make a hypertube over there from the hub. I might not. I've done a lot of hypertube making today. Yeah, let's just walk. It'll be fine. I'll grab another power slug while I'm here. Alright, I managed to get it before the spitters found me. And I'll also grab this power slug as well. Just making our way on over. And we need to head quite a ways south and a little bit west. Let's see, drone port fuel source. That's the one. Now the drones have been operating without me placing any new ones for a decent amount of time, which means theoretically it should be somewhat stable as it is. We'll see how much fuel is actually being used there. And how close we are to running out. Now the thing is that it's probably going to be pretty difficult to tell because the fuel drone will only fly when there's a lot to move. But basically, as long as it's not empty. As long as it's been empty and drones aren't sitting around waiting for fuel, that's fine. It's if there is a clear shortage that it's a problem. Alright. That's right. That's the one. It's a lot further south than I remembered. Yeah. Just gotta keep on going. It is quite far south. Alright. The fun thing about... I'm not sure if fun is the right word, but interesting thing about Satisfactory is that, like, there are ways of like building your like world as a whole, and whenever you're doing one way, you're always like, ah, gee, it sure would be convenient if I were doing it the other way. Like when I'm building all these factories, especially aluminum, and I have to redo the entire aluminum production chain like every time I want to make anything. It really makes me think, man, I wish I had a central aluminum source, like a central source of aluminum ingots that just produced a ton of them, and I just never needed to worry about it in any other locations. But that's not how I am building this factory, so I'm not going to. Alright. Let's drop down. And we are almost there. Just across the ocean a little bit. There's a particularly dangerous hatcher right there. I didn't hear it doing anything. Alright. This whole factory is shut down. What is this factory for? I'm going to put in a sink so that it will always run. Oh, it's actually not. This factory is actually completely bricked. All right. In that case, emergency troubleshooting time. What is going on with computer production? No plastic. No plastic. Alright, then what is going on with plastic production? That would be these belts here. Yeah, that would be... Gosh, I don't even know which belts the plastic's meant to be on. But let's see. It's going to be this one, because it's hooked up. The other one isn't hooked up to anything. Alright. So this is where the plastic's meant to come from, and it goes at all sorts of places. Plastic is a weird thing to stop. Did I not hook up a sink to a byproduct somewhere? Alright, so this is recycled plastic, but there's no rubber. Alright. Then this belt should be the rubber source, and no polymer resin. Alright. Confirmed, no polymer resin. Why is there no polymer resin? Well, there's a little bit on the end there, of course. But this belt should be producing polymer resin. And it isn't because there's a heavy oil residue overflow. So what do I do with heavy oil residue? I mix it with water to make fuel. Oh gosh. I mean, the problem is, like, everything is bricked because everything is bricked. And that's annoying. So I think the heavy oil residue overflow is the source of the problem. Although it could be the fuel. Alright, well, I'm going to assume the heavy oil residue is being overproduced here. And oh, we need a we need an overflow smart splitter for fluids. There's probably a way of doing that. For now, at least, let's flush the heavy oil residue to get everything started again. So at least temporarily things will turn on. But I need... Yeah, no, but that's not fixing this problem because the fuel Alright, well, it will fix the problem once the rubber shows up. So once that rubber shows up, the fuel will start being used and that can turn on. Just need to flush a whole bunch of heavy oil residue in the meantime. Make sure this is enough rubber. That's 20 a minute. 20 a minute. 39.5 rubber a minute. Is this 39.5? That's 30. That is 19.5. Did I do the math wrong? Is this meant to be 49.5? 20, 40. Yeah. Alright, yeah. 49.5. 49.5 there, 49.5 there. Rubber is good enough. Now the fuel is being used. And I'm going to... Where do these pipes have heavy oil residue? Alright, and then the fuel is also 49.5, which is correct, so the fuel isn't a problem. So how did this happen exactly? There was too much heavy oil residue. Do I still have the plans for that factory? I think I do. Alright, so heavy oil residue. Heavy oil residue is supposed to be 0. No, is this right? There's no way this is right. Oh, this is polymer resin. The numbers are just like fractionally off, and is that causing the problem? So yeah, I think it might be that the numbers are just fractionally off because they're not 100% precise. How do I create priority outputs for fluids? I do not know. Well, I'm just going to continue flushing heavy oil residue. So everything will at least start to work. So in theory, everything here should work for a bit while I probably am just going to have to Google tutorials on how to do pipe, like make sure pipes go to one source before another, and then I'll just have like something making petroleum coke with any spares and sinking them, and that'll be fine. Alright, so this is the fuel source. And judging by the fact that everything is stopped, I assume that means we're getting more than enough. Yeah, everything seems to be producing at literal 0%, which means that this should be good to go. I guess I will sink the spares. Alright. Plop a sink in. Fire that up to that. And that up to that. And say right overflow. And now all of this should start going again. Obviously just firing it off into a sink, but I don't think I want that full speed actually. How much is this? It's Mark 3. So it's going to be like what? 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240. So I could actually set that to make sure that this buffer remains. Yeah, so now, because I've done it like that, this storage container will remain full, which means that whenever anything needs it, there'll be a huge amount to very rapidly refill all this. But yeah, fuel supplies are clearly not an issue. Fuel supply is clearly not an issue. I guess no, it doesn't really make sense. This storage container shouldn't, strictly speaking, be necessary. You can get full-on Mark IIIs, which should be enough to keep the whole thing running at 100%. Now we head back over to the supercomputer factory and stare at it for a bit. So these rubber producers appear to be producing rubber, although not full juice. The middle one isn't getting enough. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about 100% efficiency nearly as much as just having it run at all. The heavy oil problem is certainly quite a problem. And fuel, to be honest. I think fuel overflow might also be somewhat responsible, but I don't think that's the case, simply because draining the heavy oil immediately fixed all of the problems. So I think the fuel was just like a downstream effect of the heavy oil problem. You're at 100%. You're at 100%. Because yeah, if I actually look at the schematics, it's supposed to be 0.722. So 90. So even that is closer, but still producing like literally 1,000th. It's like, what is that? Yeah, it's literally like 6,000ths more heavy oil per minute than the plan, which will inevitably brick the entire factory. And then this one over here is producing 10.32, which is again 7 thousandths more heavy oil than planned. Can I fix that to be 10.313? No. It doesn't seem to have done anything. Oh, no, it does seem to have worked. It doesn't show there. It does show there as 10.313. Alright. Does that mean I can also fix this to be completely precise? This needs to be making 93.844. Yes, that does work. Alright. Lesson learned, you can be 100% precise. It just requires you to look at these numbers instead of those numbers. Alright, so now that all the numbers are correct down to the thousandth, hopefully that should be fine. Hopefully that'll resolve the issue. And I'm going to continue on the assumption that it will. Now, is this blender... That blender is producing precisely the amount of fuel needed. This recycled plastic looks wrong. Is this meant... Yeah, okay, no, it's 1.65. Some nice, neat, round numbers of plastic being used. Alright, I think that will probably have solved the problem. And hopefully that solves the problem permanently. Otherwise, we're gonna just continue having issues, I guess. But Supercomputer Factory does appear to be back online. Yes, this is back up to 60-some% with plastic flowing in. These two machines have backlogged, which means that these two machines will be getting their plastic. Alright, I think that crisis has been averted. You're yellow. Why are you yellow? Ah. Still just backlog problems. Okay. Fair enough. And there are no Mercer spheres or summer sloops around. Just had to check that. And it has been a long time since anything has visited the fuel source. Alright, now as far as drones go, are they working fully? Yes. Everything looks correct. They're just making their trips whenever they feel like it is necessary. Which is every so often. This copper line doesn't seem to be moving. Is that just because these are slow? Yep, it's just because these are slow. And also... is that just residual effects from whatever is going on upstream? Probably. Yeah, it looks like everything is just recovering. Backlogs are full all over the place. So the machines are just starting to wake up. Yep, computers are up to 4 out of 4. Plastic supply looks like it's present, at least. I don't know if it is. In fact, it's probably not. Yeah. No, this is actually fully backlogged. Computer supplies seems to be a thing. This is almost certainly not enough plastic, though, for these. Yeah, these two together require 64 plastic a minute. This is not 64 plastic a minute, guys. I guess that could be coming in bursts. Definitely seems like the plastic production is accelerating. This looks maybe 64-ish a minute. In fact, we can run down and check. That's up to 70%, and its friend is up to 100. Alright. Well, that's close-ish. The rubber production is still slow because why? Still polymer resin shortage. Not much of one. And it looks like partially a manifold problem on the polymer resin side. It also does sort of come in giant bursts. So that's 100%. That's 100%. It's just going to have to manifold up. I do not have a polymer resin factory anywhere, so I can't do anything about it, but it'll just manifold up until eventually this is working. So I think this factory will probably be stable, hopefully indefinitely. What are these machines and why are they not working? Caterium output. Yeah, okay, there is a pretty serious quick wire problem here. That's Mark III belt, and that's 60, 120, 180, 240, so the belt is enough. It is just, again, other shortages elsewhere trickling back. Yeah, high-speed connectors are not fully going because there's too much backlog. AI limiters are fully going, but it's unclear how long. Alright, well, I should just throw a stack of computers in just to make sure that that doesn't become a problem. And hopefully, yeah, we are getting more. Supercomputer production is back online. I don't think I need it to be summer sloped. I think I have enough currently. Let's check power. Yeah, power is now very consistent, just the occasional flicker. So that's a positive. What is that about? Oh, that must have been me taking the summer sloop out. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Another drone has set off to get iron. That's fun. Still no drones seem interested in visiting the fuel source. Ooh, there are a couple dismantle crates. I'll go find those and destroy them. I see one. I see both of them. Just random foundations. Alright. Now this factory is all green and all feeding into the sink. Yeah, if I want this storage container, I would want to reorganize this a bit. Yeah, actually, let's do that. I do like having that storage container there. So let's put the splitter here before, and we go right overflow and in there. So now I get to have my industrial storage container full of fuel and all of this stuff, and still sink all the spares. There are really no fuel drones anywhere doing anything. All the fuel supplier drones are just sitting in port, which I guess I should head over and check that that's a good thing and not because something has gone horribly wrong. So let's head to what's the closest one? Probably the copper supplier. So let's head over to the copper supplier, make sure its fuel is correct. Alright, I think I should be able to zipline a good part of the distance. Although I'm not sure if this is actually going exactly where I want to. And certainly not great visibility. And it is going straight into a cliff. And it is going exactly where I want to, but I missed the line. Okay, please stop. Alright, let me get up here. Just onto this. And then take this zip line up here. Alright. Yeah, so you are just full to the brim with fuel. You're full to the brim with copper. Yeah, so these, currently at least, nowhere near their max capacity is being used, which means they just sort of sit like this most of the time. Although I think, do I see... Yeah, I don't see any drones moving around interestingly here. And yeah, you're full of fuel, you're full of nitrogen canisters. Alright, well, we've done a decent number of checks and it seems like everything is operating correctly. I am going to end the stream here. So make sure to follow. I'm going to be playing Magic tomorrow and then Satisfactory on Wednesday. So I do Satisfactory Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure to catch me then. And next time I will be doing turbo motors, which will be fun. So yeah, see you guys then.